Hey guys, Christo Garcia, my swing evolution. I am so fired up to talk to my new friend, Fast Eddie Fernandez, world long drive champion and top notch golf pro. He's got big dreams for the game of golf. He's been playing his whole life. So, Eddie, how are you doing today?
Yeah, doing great, Christo. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, this is so cool. So, where we left off in episode one, we were talking a little bit about your dreams for the Champions Tour. You're turning 50. I'm already over 50, but I'll tell you, I'm playing the best golf of my life. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah.
I hit it as long as ever. My whole game is rounding into form, much nicer. So, tell me, how's your game and what are you planning on doing?
Yeah, so the game is good. I played a lot of golf as a kid growing up, turned professional in 92. 2004 was the last year that I played professionally or went to Q school, missed the cut at the second stage of Q school, and took 10 years off and then got into long drive in 2014. So actually end of 2013. So that's kind of when I felt like there was a chance for me to do something in long drive. I wanted to get back into golf anyways because I always had a dream of playing the Champions Tour after I stopped playing with the young kids.
Yeah,
So, but yeah, it's pretty cool that I'm able to have this opportunity, and I wanted to use long drive as a platform to play again.
hmm,
And when I was 43, almost 44, and and everything is kind of worked out. But I also made a real crystal clear plan on what I wanted to do in long drive, and I've achieved everything that I wanted to do. World champion in the Masters division, world number one currently in the Masters. I'm also ranked 14th in the world in the Open division against these kids half my age. So, but that's a testament. Like you and I, we have a lot in common because I feel like, why can't you get better with age? And I always hashtag that in all my social media platforms, better with age. Why not? Who says that you can't get better as you get older? I'm always willing to learn, and I'm sure I'll be this until the day I die, willing to learn. I don't know everything, and there's always things that you can do to improve. Even now, even you know, playing golf, and there's certain things that you can improve on no matter what it is. Even Tiger always said that he felt like he can get better. Even like 2000 or 2001, arguably the greatest stretch of golf ever played. And he felt like he could get better. So it's all about striving to be great, striving to get better. That's why we have two ears and one mouth, so we listen to
yeah.
other people, right? I mean, people that think they know everything, and I'm very, very coachable. That's what one of my things. Lucas Wald is my swing coach, and he said you're so coachable because I tell you something, and we work on things, and you're able to implement it right away. And if you buy in 100%, just like a parallel to football, if you have a coach who's successful, who knows the game, who's played the game, and you trust what they're giving you is the right information, and you buy in 100%, chances are you're going to get better. So, thing with the football coach, right? If they haven't proven themselves, or players don't buy in. Like if you go to the Patriots, right?
Hmm.
6-time Super Bowl champs, and Coach Belichick is telling you to do something. Well, chances are he knows what he's talking about. So, if you want to be a champion, if your goal is to win a world championship, making that parallel to football. So what I'm saying is, if you have people in your life that you trust, and you really want to have goals of getting better, whether it be to break 90 or play on the PGA Tour or Champions Tour, it's really good to kind of buy in 100% and not listen to all these other people. Because I have friends that listen to 10 different people.
Yeah.
It's like, take one person, take one guy, and just focus on what he's saying, because 10 people are going to tell you 10 different things. So that's kind of what I've done, and I'm not really a tinkerer either. So
Well, you've got a professional swing.
yeah,
You play at such a high level, but the thing is, you hit the ball so darn far. So I know
yeah,
that Scott McCarron. He's long by
yeah.
normal standards.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. He hits it far. He's probably 170 ball speed, 165 to 170, which is, that's deep. I mean, a lot of these guys are in the low to mid 150s ball speed on the Champions Tour. So he's hitting it 20, 25 yards by pretty much everyone outside of Phil. Even Jim Furyk isn't that long. Um, he's pretty dang good though.
Yeah.
He's won his first two events that he's played on the Champions Tour, but length is such a huge advantage as long as you can, flight your wedges and hit iron shots, hit quality shots. And that's what I can do. I can hit wedges. I can chip and putt. And I'm a +7 right now at my home club. And it's going really well. The process is really coming along nicely, and I'm excited to start playing in a couple of weeks. Playing some one-day events, just kind of get the competitive rust off, and then kind of go from there.
So +7 is so crazy sounding to me.
Yeah.
That that is so wild. But I mean that's I think I heard that Ricky is like +8, in that neighborhood or something. But one of the things I love, guys, you got to follow Eddie on Instagram. I go to your page and you're chipping and you're hitting, shots and stuff. I'm like, where's my long drive stuff? I mean, I love all the golf stuff, but you're a well-rounded golfer.
Yeah. Yeah, I really one of my favorite things to practice is wedges, pitching inside 100 yards. I really enjoy hitting those shots, and I use my own golf balls when I do that. I don't use the range balls because it's completely different flight. So it's one of the big things for people if they're working on their short game or working on little pitches or wedges or whatever. Use your own golf balls, even if you only have 10 or 12 or 15. Go out there, use your golf ball, see how it spins around the green, see how it reacts, because the flight's going to be completely different compared to a limited flight range ball.
Yeah.
And that's what I do. I have my own balls. And so when I get on the golf course, there's no, I know exactly how it's going to come off, and I know the spin, and I know where it's going to land and what it's going to do when it hits the green.
Yeah, I watch a lot of guys around my club. They'll take their little bucket of range balls to the chipping green, and I'm like, they're gonna do. I chipped in a clinic. I chipped a Titleist and a range ball, landed in the same spot, and the rollout was double on the range ball.
Yeah, it's crazy. That's why when I was, excuse me, when I was with Bryson, I mean, they have brand new. It's so cool when he had me hit golf balls on the range at Bay Hill, and I'm like, dude, this is like heaven. Hitting brand new. I mean, guys are hitting obviously Titleist, Bridgestone. He had Bridgestone, but it's just so cool, man. It's just so cool hitting brand new balls when you're practicing. It's like
I can't even imagine. That is so sweet.
Yeah.
I have to ask you, being, almost 44 when you got into the long drive business, obviously, you've got a history with the game of golf. When did it dawn on you, you know what, I can hang with these guys? Were this for a while or what happened?
I really wasn't. So the thing is, I missed the cut at the second stage of Q school in 04. My wife was pregnant with our first one. We had just gotten married in 03. And I played so well. I won 7 mini tour events in a row in 04, leading up to the first stage. First in a row. One dayers, smaller events between 20 and 40 guys.
Pros, right?
Right. So my average, I think, was 67.4 for those 7 events. And then I shot 70, 68 in the 8th one in a 2-day event and finished second. But with that said, it was, missed the cut. And I was kind of focused on family. I'm like, I need to do something else. I was just kind of like, I know I'm good enough. It's just not my time. And that's kind of how I went through it.
Right.
And, so I got into the business world, and then all of a sudden 2013 rolled around in the fall. It was October, and I was watching Long Drive came on ESPN. And I'm watching, I'm watching the final 8, and Tim Burke is actually a good friend of mine now, but Tim Burke, I was watching Tim won at the Vegas Speedway. And I'm like, man, this looks really cool. And I was always longer than everyone, I just didn't know how fast I was because I never was on a launch monitor. I mean, TrackMan or Flight Scope, none of that was out when I in 04 that I had access to anyways. So I was in Chicago at the time, and I Googled TrackMan Chicago, and Tommy Azuma with Smart Golf and Fitness emailed me back. He said, "Hey, come up. Let's check it out. See what you got." So I go out there with my 11-year-old R7, 44 and a half inches, and I'm putting up. Got warmed up, and I was between 129 and 134. Got it up to 196 ball speed. And he's like, "How old are you?" I'm like, "I was 43, actually 42, almost 43." And he's like, "Wow." He said, "And how long haven't you?" I literally played maybe 25 rounds in that 10-year span between 04 and the end of 2013.
Wow.
So he's like, I think we can do something here. So, the gracious guy that he is, we're still very good friends to this day. And he trained me at no charge, let me practice. He had a gorgeous indoor facility. So if any of your viewers live in the Chicago area, Smart Golf and Fitness, unbelievable. Just an incredible facility, state of the art. They've grown by leaps and bounds over the last 3 or 4 years, and they're just awesome guys, and they know what they're doing. And they really got me started in long drive, and gave me an incredible facility to practice at. And I was in the restaurant business at the time, so I would go downtown 6 days a week, go practice, go work out, and it's a training facility as well. And then I'd go run around a restaurant for 7 or 8 hours, and do it all over again the next day. And it was tough, but I knew what I wanted to do. I made a commitment. I talked to my wife, and we made it happen. And it's a team effort. It's not just me doing this. It's my wife had to buy in the kids, and I wasn't home very much just because I knew that there was an opportunity for me to do really well and use it as a platform, a springboard to play again when I turned 50. So it all worked out. It's all worked out so far. So pretty cool.
Wow. So can you walk me through becoming a world champion? Now you and I have had a conversation about vision, like seeing something, and
Yeah,
for me,
absolutely.
when something locks in as a vision, then I'm just executing what I already believe.
Yeah, absolutely, Christo. So, when I turned, the Masters division is 45 and up, age
Okay.
45. So I couldn't compete until 2016 because my birthday's at the end of November, and World Championships are usually September, October. So I missed it by a month or two.
Yeah.
And I was 44, just almost 45. So my first year in the Masters division, hit it well. But I think competing in both divisions really takes its toll. You hit with the young kids, and then you hit with the older guys, and I'm in great shape. I was in great shape when I was competing, but to swing 150, 180 times in a day, full speed drivers over the course of 8 or 9 hours. I don't care if you're 24.
Yeah.
Being in your mid 40s, it's going to take its toll, and I really enjoyed it, though. I was really gung-ho about winning both divisions, and nobody's ever done it. And fast forward to 2016, I finished 5th. 2017, I finished 3rd. And when I finished 3rd, I was really upset, and I'm like, there's no way I should get beat. And I made it a point. I said, there's no way I'm losing next year. 2018 is it. I needed to make a couple changes in my golf swing. That's when I found Lucas Wald, who actually coached a friend of mine, Jeff Flagg, who won the 2014 World Long Drive Championship.
Wow.
And Jeff, great friends. And I talked to Jeff, said, "Hey, would you mind if I talk to Lucas?" And he said, "Yeah, no problem." So Lucas and I got together. I flew up to Arkansas, worked with him for a couple of days, and that was the missing piece. And I I did thousands and thousands and thousands of reps to get. I had a big lateral sway, a lateral move, and I couldn't hit up on it. I was spinning the ball too much, and Lucas pinpointed it right away, gave me a bunch of drills and gave me a bunch of things to do, improved my golf swing, a few things that I was doing other than that. And then, 2018, this was end of 2017. So 2018 rolls around in March, and I go to the first World Long Drive Tour event and finish second. I always kid Kyle Berkshire because I think that was his first year or second year on tour. I can't remember. But so I met Kyle in the quarterfinals, and I beat him pretty good. So, hey, I have to say that, right?
Hey.
But I knew, and with Kyle, just so much talent, so much speed, and I knew at the time, all he had to do was just manage that adrenaline because he was like buzzing, right? He was like, but I knew he was going to be something special, just from his work ethic and just getting to know him over the last couple of years. But I beat him, and then I beat another guy in the semifinals. I lost to Justin Moose in the final. And then I win the next event at the Endless Summer Invitational out in Huntington Beach, California.
Mm-hmm.
And so my first two events in the Open division were a second and a first in 2018 after I had worked with Lucas from November. So I'd only had
In the Open division.
In the Open division. So 4 months working with Lucas. And then all of a sudden I'm like, and I knew I could do well. I knew what my speeds were. I was up around 145 to 148, 215 plus ball speed with good flight, good spin. So I knew I was going to be right there if I hit it solid. And then this kind of 2018 took off, and I didn't lose. That the World Championships came around, and I won every round by at least 25 yards, and then won the championship that year, and that carried into 2019, where I almost won both divisions in Rochester, New York. I finished third in the Open and won the Masters division. So
holy cow. Are there many guys competing in both? Yeah.
So Jeff Gavin from Canada, an absolute monster. He's like 50, I think he's 51 now. He's incredible. We call him the Freak. Just he's like 6'4", 6'5". He's like 255, and just he's a monster. And he's a great hitter. Been doing it a long time, and we become pretty good friends and love competing with each other because. And he was the guy that really got me up, right? And if I'm competing against Jeff, I know I have to have my best stuff.
Yeah.
Kind of like Phil and Tiger, the two guys. Okay, they're in their prime. It's like, okay, this is the guy. I got to really be on my game today, or else I'm going to get beat. So Jeff really pushed me, and we had send him a couple messages last year and say, hey, I appreciate it. It was so much fun competing but you need guys like that. I think everyone, even Phil said it about Tiger, said, hey, I would have never won as much as I did without Tiger, but you need that to push you to be even better than you ever think you can be. Yeah. And that's why I enjoyed competing in the Open division as well. And people are, what are you doing competing in both divisions? And it's not like, it gets me going. And it's fun competing against Kyle Berkshire or Justin James or Jeff Flagg or any of these guys, Wes Patterson, good buddy of mine. And it's fun. And it's even more fun when I get the better of them every once in a while, but there's nothing like competing and hanging with those kids and, you're almost double their age. So, and that's kind of what I wanted to bring, like a lot of these tour players for longevity. Hey, I'm 50 years old, still putting up, I could probably grab a long drive driver and still put up 142, 143 club speed right now and probably 212 ball speed. Yeah. My play swing is, 126 to 136, depending on what I'm trying to hit. If it's a little grip down cut or it's just, absolute bomber. So yeah, that's the cool thing about it. And I just want to and it's cool that we kind of connected through social media as well. So it's about always striving to be better, no matter what, no matter how old you are. I don't care if you're 65, you can always get better. You can always hit it farther unless there's some type of physical ailment that that you can't do it. But I've got a lot of these PGA Tour players are you know, reaching out, and we're talking, and you know, they want to have longer careers, and they're like, how in the world are you doing it at almost 50 with no injuries? Like, what have you done? What are you doing? And so it's a really cool thing for me to be able to share with them, you know, what I've done, because I've found the recipe. I know exactly what I'm doing. I know that I'm not going to get hurt, and it's just it's important.
Hey, next time I'm in Florida, I want a lesson, so we're gonna have to catch up.
You got it.
Do me a favor and tell me, what's the longest ball you've hit in competition?
So competition 2018, it was kind of like a walk-off. So 480 yards. So it was down in the Phoenix area, down at Ak-Chin. It was a Smash in the Sun. It was the final round for qualifying for the Open Division World Championships. And I had to win that set to get in. And I absolutely smoked. It was downwind about 15 miles an hour, 15, 18 miles an hour. It was about 105 degrees, and it was one of those golf balls where, you know, you don't even feel it come off the face. It was just everything was perfect with that. If there's one perfect shot I've ever hit, that one was it. It was just, thing just took off like a laser beam right down the right center and might have moved a yard left. It stayed up in the air forever. And it was just one of those, I'm like, oh my God. It was one of those, right? And when it came, and I had hit one I think I hit one like 462 in the round before that. And this one I hit better. And I'm like, I don't even know how far this thing is going to go. And it came up 480. And that was the longest ball that year, and also last year too. So, but yeah, that was
in all of the competitions.
Yeah, in all the competitions the last couple of years. So the guy that
48, is that how old you were?
I was 48. Yeah, no, I was 47 at the time. It was because it was 18,
you hit a ball 480 at 47 years old. Longest ball for a couple years. Nobody could beat that.
Yeah,
that is just. I mean, I can't even quite wrap my head around it. I've seen some long drivers hitting it in the 400 range, and that's mind-boggling. But 480 is like.
And the conditions were perfect.
Hey, you know what? You know, you put it all together when it mattered, and you delivered something that I'm sure you'll never forget it.
Yeah. So Zach Adams, a friend of mine, he was with me because it was kind of between him and I. Whoever won that set was going to move on to the finals back, you know, in September. And he sees 480 go up on the board. He turns around and he's like, "You got to be kidding me!" So he hit it 429, you know. But yeah, it was a pretty cool experience. That was the hardest ball I've ever hit. The grid worker came and he gave me the ball, and he said it flew about 436 in the air. So it was pretty neat. Yeah.
Wow, that is pretty neat. So I'd love to pick this up again in another episode, but thank you so much. Fast Eddie Fernandez, guys, you got to follow him. He's just rising and rising, just like his drives. It's incredible. So keep watching My Swing Evolution, and Eddie, we're going to catch up again real soon. Okay.
Awesome. Thanks, buddy.
Okay.
Now, guys, if you like these videos, please click subscribe, hit a like, leave a comment. That stuff helps us out a lot. And if you want to learn more about My Swing Evolution, you can go to myswingevolution.com, where I've got my top 5 swing secrets video available for free. And I've got full-length instructional videos that tell you how I rebuilt my swing.
Guys, golf shouldn't have to be so hard. The problem is information overload. There's so much info out there. It's like trying to build a race car by going to a junkyard and grabbing spare parts off of every old clunker. It's just not gonna work. I wanted to have a great golf swing, so I narrowed my focus and just studied the swing of Ben Hogan. And guess what? It worked. Today I'm one of the best golfers at my club, My Swing Evolution has over 20 million views, and I even got to play Ben Hogan on the Golf Channel. So if you want to become a great ball striker, go to myswingevolution.com, pick up the MSE Golf System, and start your swing evolution today. Hit them long and hit them straight.